There's a kind of tiredness that doesn't show on your face, a tiredness that sits deeper, behind the ribs, behind the eyes, behind the way you answer, "I'm fine," even when you know you're not. It's not sadness, not depression, not even overwhelm. It's the quiet ache of a woman who's been strong for far too long, and somewhere along the way, lost the thread back to herself. You know the feeling. You wake up and move through the day exactly as you should, responsible, capable, functioning, steady. You handle what you need to handle. You show up the way you're supposed to. But underneath all that competence, there's a softer truth. You don't feel like you anymore. Not the real you, not the bright one, the alive one, the curious one, the passionate one, the one who had opinions and desires and a pulse, the one who wasn't exhausted from holding everything together, the one who didn't have to be the strong one just to keep life from collapsing. Maybe you don't talk about it. Maybe you tell yourself you're lucky. Maybe you tell yourself you shouldn't complain. Maybe you tell yourself it's just a phase. But deep down, in the quiet corners of your inner world, you know something is missing. You know you're adrift. You know you've dimmed. You know you've been carrying so much weight that you can't remember the last time you simply existed without tension, without exhaustion. There's a version of you that used to breathe easy. You used to laugh louder, express without shrinking, dream without estimating the cost. And the truth you've been avoiding is simple. You're not meant to live your entire life being the backbone of everyone else while starving for your own presence. You are not to be the emotional medic, the peacekeeper, the reliable one, the responsible one, without ever getting to be the human one. But this isn't a story about blame or guilt or failure. This is the moment you recognize you have outgrown the version of yourself who survived by disappearing. This is the moment you realize you want your life back. Not a new life, not a dramatic reinvention, but the life that actually feels like you. And that longing you feel right now, that ache, that quiet whisper in the back of your mind, that's not weakness. That is the return. Let's talk about why this happens. Because you didn't just wake up one day and decide to lose yourself. Women don't disappear all at once. They disappear in teeny moments where they chose peace over expression, acceptance over truth, harmony over self-honoring. A comment they wanted to make but swallowed. A boundary they felt softened. A desire they had postponed. A need that rose in their body ignored. One quiet override at a time. And slowly, without noticing, you became a softer outline of yourself. Still functional, still lovable, still strong, but blurred. And this is the truth. You learn to survive by shrinking. Life taught you through chaos, through responsibility, through disappointment, through conditioning, that your needs were negotiable. But your usefulness never was, so you became useful, hyper-capable, emotionally competent, the go-to, the stable one, the woman who holds it down always. No one told you the cost. No one told you that strength, when forced, becomes a cage. No one told you that reliability can become an identity prison. No one told you that self-sacrifice, once normalized, becomes self-erasure. The world praised you for being strong, but no one asked how much it cost you to keep carrying it. And you, like so many women, learned to disappear politely. Not dramatically, not publicly, just quietly. Over time, the you beneath the you got tired. tired. And now she wants out. Not to burn your life down, not to abandon your responsibilities, not to become someone new. She wants to return, to breathe, to speak, to feel herself again. And that longing, that discomfort, that numbness you can't shake, that is your soul saying, I'm done being the supporting character in a life I'm meant to lead. And here's the truth that changes everything. You don't need to reinvent yourself. You need to remember yourself. There's nothing wrong with you, nothing missing, nothing broken. You are not lost. You're unremembered. And when a woman begins remembering herself, her entire life begins to shift. Not through pressure, not through hustle, not through force, but through clarity, through small truth-telling moments, through choosing herself in teeny sacred ways. The shift happens the moment you stop asking, what do they need from me? And begin asking, what do I need from me? This is the moment your life stops being accidental and begins becoming yours again. Now let's bring this into your body, because change doesn't happen in the mind alone. Here are gentle, doable actions woven into the story. You don't need to perform them perfectly. You don't need to do them all at once. Just feel which one your soul leans toward. The first practice is honor one small preference today. Not a boundary, not a life overhaul, just a preference. Choose the seat you want. Pick the show you want. Say no to the thing you don't want. Eat what you're craving. Wear what your body feels good in. Small preferences build selfhood faster than a big declaration. The second practice, pause in the moment right before you self-sabotage. You know, the microsecond where you feel yourself shrinking, where you edit yourself, where you silence the honesty. Pause there. Put your hand on your heart and whisper internally, I don't disappear anymore. Even if you don't say the honest thing out loud yet, you've already changed the pattern. The third practice, give yourself one nourishing moment today. Not productivity, nourishing. A warm shower, a walk without your phone, a slow cup of coffee, a quiet minute alone, a breath with your hand on your chest. Nourishment reawakens the parts of you survival shut down. The fourth practice, end your day by asking one question. What did I do today that honored me? Not who you helped, not what you achieved, not what you crossed off. Just what honored me today. These micro moments rebuild your spark. These teeny returns create the comeback. This is how you begin remembering yourself in real time. You're not starting over. You're returning to your voice, your softness, your truth, your needs, your spark. And you're fully allowed to build a life that feels like yours again. You're allowed to stop being the strong one when strength becomes self-abandonment. You're allowed to take up space in the life you've spent years holding together. You're allowed to meet yourself where you are and say, I'm ready to come home. Nothing about you is lost. Nothing about you is gone. You are here. You're waking up. You're remembering. This is your return. There is something truly sacred that happens when a woman starts hearing herself again. Not the loud voice, not the one that manages, performs, organizes, meditates, and makes everything okay, but the quiet one, the intuitive one, the honest one, the voice that she tucked away so she could survive environments that couldn't hold her fullness. You might feel the voice rising now, soft, steady, persistent, not yelling, not demanding, just returning. And at first, it's uncomfortable, because the truth is, forgetting yourself was easier than explaining yourself. Shrinking was easier than disappointing someone. Nodding was easier than arguing. Silence was easier than honesty. Strength was easier than vulnerability. You didn't disappear because you lacked courage. You disappeared because you lacked space. You were never allowed to care for your inner world without someone asking, assuming, needing, taking. You became adaptable. You became the woman who absorbed instead of expressed, who provides instead of receives, who listened instead of speaking, who supports instead of rests. But here's what no one told you. Adaptability is a survival skill, not a life path. And now that your body finally feels some stability, it's safe enough for your soul to ask for more. That's why you feel restless and quiet at the same time. Why you feel grateful yet empty. Why you feel capable yet disconnected. This is not a crisis. This is your nervous system saying, you're not in danger anymore. You can come back now. This is the moment the strong woman's identity begins to crack. Not from weakness, from relief. Because the truth is, you were never meant to be strong all the time. Strength was supposed to be a tool, not your entire personality. It was supposed to be something you used, not something you became. Your softness is not a liability. Your needs are not burdens. Your desires are not selfish. Your truth is not too much. You learned that from people who couldn't hold themselves, let alone hold you. And yet here you are, still carrying the weight of that conditioning, still wearing the armor that saved you long after the war ended. But something in you knows the armor is getting heavy. And heavier still is the emptiness that comes from living a life that doesn't feel like yours. The quiet truth is, you want to be seen again. You want to be felt again. You want to be heard again, even if it's only by yourself. This desire is not selfish. It's sacred. It's the inner compassion pointing you back toward the woman you were before life demanded performance. And she's not asking for a grand reinvention. She's asking for a seat at your own table, a moment in your own day, a voice in your own life, a presence in your own choices. This is what self-reclamation actually looks like. It's subtle, it's gentle, it's daily. And it begins with one simple truth. You don't need to earn the right to take up space in your own life. You already belong here. I want you to repeat this mantra to yourself, and I want you to keep repeating it until you feel it in your bones. I return to myself now, softly, truthfully, fully. The woman I'm becoming is the woman I was always meant to be.